all of you out there who are watching, I'd like to ask you guys a question. I'm your host, Mrs. K. Stay tuned for the question after the intro. Okay, intro's done, obviously, because I'm talking again. So what I want to know is, for all you guys who are drivers out there and who also ride motorcycles, how often do you want to or catch yourself starting to do the motorcycle wave when you're in the car? I asked Mr. K about this, and it's actually funny because he was saying, like, basically since the motorcycle school, it's been like he's wanted to go, hey, to like people passing by on motorcycles when he's stuck in the car. The funny thing is usually when you're trying to do that, the panel is actually in the way. So even when you're trying to do it, you're actually doing it to the panel, so you're not doing it actually for people to see. At least that seems to be the case with Mr. K and myself, which is actually hilarious if you think about it. Because I only started driving, about a year ago now. And this summer, I caught myself countless times when I was in the car, almost or actually doing the biker wave to them. And I'm like, well, they can't even see me, so what's the point of this? This is why I think it's actually hilarious, and I was wondering how many of you out there who actually ride do that as well, because I think it's funny. Mr. K thought it was funny when I asked him, because you don't necessarily always think about these habits that you do without even realizing it. It's just one of those things that sometimes you're just like, you do it automatically because you're used to doing it. So in our case, like, because you're used to doing it on the bike, you see a bike. Even if you're in the car, you're going to do it. Even though, obviously, in the car is completely different sensation than it is on the bike, because, well, on the bike you got gear and everything like that, where in the car, you're in the car. That's it. Unless you are one of those people that, like, I guess, races your car, so you do wear a helmet in the car and stuff like that. So in those cases, yeah, it would be totally reasonable for you guys to have a helmet on. I just thought it was an interesting little tidbit because obviously Mr. K is not the only person I asked that rides that I know, and I do get the same answer every single time from people. It's like, oh yeah, I do that. Or they're like, I'm not sure, and then they come back to me like a week later going, why did you ask me that? Because now I'm aware that I'm doing it, and before I didn't realize I was. So now every time they move their hand, they're like, what am I doing? I'm in the car. I'm not on the motorcycle. So sorry to all of you who I've just put this into their head going, do you do this? Because, well, now I put it into your head and you guys are going to catch yourselves doing that and you're going to be like, grr, Mrs. K, why did you do that to me? And I'm going to be like, sorry. Not really, but sorry. And the reason I say not really is because for some reason, I caught myself doing it, and so, of course, that question had to come through my head, and, well, now I have to filter it through to all of you and ask you guys all the same question, because I'm curious. I'm curious, too, who does it and who doesn't. Please make sure that you leave that in the comment below if you do it, and I won't be offended if you say, grr, Mrs. K, now it's in my head, because it's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind being in trouble for those kind of things. I know, I think of really silly things sometimes, and then I want to share it with people, so this is one of the ones. It's kind of a little bit silly. It's not really something that you're going to be going like, I notice that I do that all the time, or you're going to be like, I never even noticed that I did it. It's funny for me to bring up those kind of little topics. It's either that, or I give you guys like one of those, I can't believe the world right now. I can't stand it. It's driving me bonkers. And you guys are going to be like, oh great, another YouTuber doing a rant video because life. And I'm going to be like, but you don't understand. And they're like, yeah, I do understand. And it's called life. If it was straightforward and simple, well, everybody would succeed. So I'd rather give you guys that informational or lighthearted topics rather than going, grr, life. Because nobody needs that. After all, you guys are on YouTube for a distraction away from life, not on YouTube to go, hey, I wonder what current events are going on, because that's why I clicked onto a motorcycle channel, because that's where I get my news from. I don't know anybody who does that, but if you do, yeah, hey, you know what? Tell me. And if there's somebody that I could watch that actually gives me current events that rides a motorcycle, let me know the name. I don't mind. It's information. Maybe I'll learn something new from somebody instead of watching the same old stuff that gets repeated over and over and over again that we have no real use for. Enough of the heaviness in this channel now. Back to our silliness. In all reality, I really do enjoy making content that hopefully makes you guys either think or smile or something. I mean, I know when it's Mr. K and I together, it's a lot more entertaining than it is when it's just one of us. Well, except for Mr. K, because Mr. K always does silly things. He's just naturally wacky. Yeah, naturally wacky. That's Mr. K. Of course, now he's going to be like, how dare you tell them I'm naturally wacky? I'm nothing of the sort. Don't you know that YouTubers don't behave the same way on the channel as they do in real life? Why would you say such things? And I'd be like, well, I don't know. I just said it. I have no idea why I said it. Sometimes I just say things for the sake of saying them because it's fun. It is fun to do those kind of things. And do I actually have a reason for it? No. Do I have a sense of entitlement? No. Do I like making YouTube videos? Yeah. Not every day is a perfect day, but, we all get through our days as best as possible. Of course, I really don't like coming through a pile of dust. I could just see all the fine little particles floating around, and I'm like, ew, it's dust, and it's gonna get on me, and it's gonna get on the bike, and ew. I'm just kidding. I don't behave that way. Or do I? I don't know, do I? That's a good question. I'm not sure if I do that or not. Of course, now I'm just being like, haha, I'm making you guys think. Is Mr. K really wacky? Is Mrs. K really crazy? Who knows? I know Mr. K knows about me, and I know about Mr. K, but do the rest of you guys know about us? That is the question. Of course, that could make a really good video. How well do you know Kawakouple? Unfortunately, though, I don't think our channel is big enough for that video. Usually people that do that are a lot bigger when it comes to a channel base or something like that. So I'm just going to go with most people that do that are a lot bigger than what I am, what Mr. K is, what the rest of us are. I just love going out for motorcycle rides. Motorcycle rides are so much fun. Of course, now I actually have an excuse to give the biker wave, unlike when I'm in the car. And then I'm like, oh, they didn't see me. Okay, good. I'm not a weirdo. I am safe this round. Or am I? I don't know. I assume they don't see me. I'm not exactly 100% sure, obviously, because, well, I don't know what people see and what they don't see. Yeah, we're not conceited enough to pull off that little, how well do you know Kawakouple? I don't think we're that conceited. Let us know in the comments below if you think that we're that conceited that we can pull that off. I don't think we are, but it would be fun to think which ones of you actually think we are. Yeah, that's how I want to put it. That's what makes sense to me. I was really surprised by my last test that it actually only went to 104 because I felt like there for a while that it was going to continue and continue and continue. And then I'm like, I stopped the bike and I look and I'm like, oh, it was 104. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. I guess I was wrong. Hey, on that video, I only paid $1.58 for my charging. So, because apparently they charge there. I did take a little picture. I'll put it up beside me somewhere so you guys can see my $1.58 charge. It's the first time I've had to pay for electricity for my motorcycle. Why is there so many cars honking? All I want to do is turn. You guys can go do whatever you want as long as you don't touch me. I gotta wait for the next light cycle because that's the way it works. Where are you going, buddy? Wow, that was late. Late to the game. This intersection, I tell you, this intersection. As I was saying, please let me know if you do the biker wave when you're in the car, or if you've caught yourself doing the biker wave while you're in the car. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell and turn on your notifications so you know when we upload next. Don't forget to love, ride, and explore, and until the next video, ta-ta!